There's a moment in life that changes everything for a woman. It's when she's called fat, ugly, flat-chested. She looks like a bathroom tile was the expression I heard. Fun times. The moment when she realizes unless she does something about it, she will never be chosen, therefore she will never be in a relationship, and therefore she will die alone as an old maid.
Yes.
Bridget is your typical woman in her early 30s. A racist mother,
Very cruel race.
a predatory uncle, and a reminder from every other family member / stranger that the clock is ticking and she needs to lock someone in.
You career girls can't put it off forever, you know.
Sure, the women of history fought for your ability to earn money and be independent, but let's calm down, okay? Let's not forget what is actually important.
TikTok.
There is, though, at least one person who gets Bridget, and especially the torture she is exposed to every year by her mother.
Mother's trying to fix you up with some divorcee.
And it is her, you guessed it, father. Yay! I mean, what is a chick flick if not for an evil mother and a cool dad who gets it?
Torture.
And you know what? Maybe this will be the day. Maybe this mysterious man, Bridget can't really see, but already knows he's a catch because he tall, will be the one she's been waiting on.
Maybe not.
Yeah, he might have caught her with his inches, but seeing that reindeer jumper he is wearing, as if. But as any good woman, even if you get the ick, even if you don't really want to entertain this person, there is a force inside us that we simply can't resist. The force seated in each and every one of us, like it is the life force we depend on, must be kind and talk.
Are you staying at your parents' for New Year?
So Bridget strikes up a little conversation where she makes sure to tell him that, yes, she might be here at her mother's party, but she was actually at a different party in London, the big city, last night. And honestly, she wishes she would be like every normal person in the holiday spirit, leaning over a toilet, trying to get over her hangover. Bridget is fun, charming, quirky. Honestly, if I met her at a party, we would be having a blast. But Mark? Yeah, not that type. So naturally, when the jokes are not landing, when the charm is not charming, Bridget tries to pull back. Because, there's this other force that we also depend on, must be liked. Actually, talking about the holiday spirit, she is gonna set some New Year's resolutions. Smoking less, drinking less. Maybe she will just add also stop talking nonsense to total strangers, right?
In fact, stop talking full stop.
Of course, Bridget is quirky and awkward. She needs to keep up with the rest of the women in lead. The tall divorcee is not amused. And honestly, he has some words for his mother, who is trying to set him up with that thing.
Yummy.
Oh no, Bridget overheard it. Cue the moment that changes everything for her. No more being rejected. No more being single. It is time to show up for herself. It is time to make some changes and become the woman who has a +1. It is time to glow the F up. Oh yeah, that also existed before the social media and the influencers who tell us how to do it. Which means that we never progress and are screwed. But first, you can't really start a new healthy habit routine without first fully indulging in the bad ones, to give them a proper goodbye. Honestly, I think that's why it's very popular to keep on restarting your process of glowing up. Especially on Mondays. It's those Saturdays and Sundays when you can really into being a bad girl. The morning comes, and as any woman who wants to show up for herself, who wants to learn about herself, learn about what she wants and how to get it, there is always a journal waiting with usually quite hefty price tag that will make her feel like she is doing something. So Bridget Jones starts her very own first diary. Clichés aside though, having a journal, especially when you want to, do better for yourself in some way, is quite a best friend, okay? It helped me see the light in many cases. It's actually right there. See? There's my journal. Right now it's quite empty because I've been living it up. No, I'm not. First things first, it's time to set up some rules for herself. Get in shape, clean after yourself, and stop falling for men who are unavailable and are going through something. And honestly, when she's writing what type of men she needs to avoid, it does make you worried a little bit, okay?
Alcoholics, workaholics, commitment phobics, emotional fuckwits, or perverts.
What is an interesting theory, though, is that we are looking at Bridget's perspective. You know, like Bridget's diary. So the way she sees herself, smoking too much, drinking too much, not looking good, being a mess, could actually just be how she sees herself when in reality or other people don't see her like that at all. Now, this theory also kind of tracks if you look at how she is treated by her, unfortunately, mother, right? Her mom criticizes her all the time, calls her a dumpling, criticizes what she is wearing. She is fixing her up with other men, aka you can't do it on your own.
Never get a boyfriend if you look like you've wandered out of Auschwitz.
Which also then kind of gives us a look into what happens when you are operating from low self-worth. That's also a theory, and I kind of like it, but there are also parts when it totally flops, and we'll get into it. Now, despite Bridget never really being in a relationship, it is clear that she did have some experience, some situationships. To get, though, on the other side, to get on the side of good, sensible, available men, she will have to overcome the temptation of every temptation. The hot boss. How Bridget sees it, though, she won't really have a problem with Daniel because there was that one fateful party at the office where she thought that she can be a Mariah Carey at a karaoke section.
I didn't know she sang. I thought she rapped.
The office is another place where we see Bridget's lack of setting boundaries, starting with her colleague who is bossing her around because she just can, and Bridget doesn't say anything.
Most of the time, I just want to staple things to her head.
All the way up to the big boss who doesn't even know her name and constantly stares at her chest area.
Tits pervert, more like.
Which is a very disturbing theme throughout this whole movie. Like being a predator or a pervert is just silly things men do to Bridget. Weirdos. And I don't know if this was supposed to be some kind of humor, comedy. Either way, it's always these toxic messages of boys will be boys, so, just go with it. Ha 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 ha.
I'm like codependent.
Jude, Bridget's friend, is another career woman who, despite being the head of department at a bank, is calling Bridget locked in a bathroom crying about a boy who ghosted her. Because that's how it is, people. Don't be fooled by the career woman. In reality, she is still a total dum-dum when it comes to love. Now, of course, it's not a fairy tale that someone can be good in business and career and totally flop in relationships. And sometimes you even meet people and you look at them and you're like, how are you entertaining an F-boy? Like, stuff. But to give me an example of a very successful career woman who is crying about being too much and codependent, it's really similar to her friend Jude. Also, Bridget is a little bit of a dum-dum when it comes to her work. Like, the fact that she is working in a publishing agency, no one, not even Bridget, understands how did she get this job. You see, when the cute boss approaches her while she is talking with her friend during working hours, she tries to play it off by pretending she's talking to a writer who has been dead for 30 years.
The FR leavers who died in 1978.
Great stuff. Now, could they save this career woman dumb with the plot twist Bridget actually can talk to dead people? Yes, they could, but that doesn't have the impact it needs to have. We need to know that if we get a job, it's purely because, I don't know, we just poofed out of thin air and that's it. Men are successful because they're smart. Women are successful. Who knows why? Witches. Potions at play.
Yes, yes.
The next day, it's time to go back to work. And Bridget already knows she is the talk of the office. Like making a mistake like that, everyone was probably writing in their own diaries about it. And fair, it's difficult to be good at your job if you don't even know if you're working with dead people. She is ready to get fired. And that email from the boss just arrived. But then she's a bit confused. Like, what now? Her boss has a different complaint. Her boss has a complaint about how short her skirt is. No. He's also making a joke / being flirtatious. Yeah. Bridget is shook. Like, is this real? Like, what do you mean? I was stressing this whole time I'm gonna get sacked because I'm dumb, and yet my boss is actually paying more attention to me? Like, that kind of attention? Though maybe this time Bridget will show up for herself. Maybe this time Bridget will do what is right and, go to HR. But don't be silly. This man be cute and all. She's been fantasizing about him and now she actually has a shot. There is only one logical thing Bridget will do. The next day, she's gonna wear a see-through blouse and walking like a duck because, women trying to be sexy, awkward. Honestly, Bridget is kind of baffled. Like, who would have known that all it takes for a guy to give you attention is to let him know you're stupid and show your bra? Despite the temptations, though, Bridget is trying to hold back, okay? She is trying to not get into fantasizing. But how can a woman in her 30s who is desperate to get in a relationship not already picture the wedding day and the cute story of how it all started?
And it all began, of course, with some very irresponsible emails.
And this little exchange of the sexy emails lasting for the last 2 days bring Daniel to ask Bridget out. But what Daniel does not know is Bridget, a smart one, she knows exactly how to punch the final blow. He wants to go out with her. She'll have to check her schedule.
Let's see, shall we?
And Bis, you might be shocked by this, but it is true. Like, the success rate of getting a guy with the hard-to-get strategy is 100%. There is a little asterisk, though, next to the what kind of guys part, and it's usually emotionally unavailable. And there's also like a small print of the conditioned afterwards or the aftercare will be long-term as long as you give up on your need to have a loving relationship. In case you encounter any of the following symptoms, aka subject expressing things like, man, you've become so needy. I don't want to spend all this time together. Like, don't you have a life of your own? Or the most dangerous one, oh, you knew I was like this when you met me. Why are you making a fuss about it now? It is advised to shut down all your emotions and proceed with caution. Though maybe Daniel is going to be an exception. Maybe Daniel is the type of guy who, yes, gets interested in stupid girls in short skirts, but once he gets to know Bridget, once he sees how cool and awesome and intelligent she is, he will actually want to be with her forever. Didn't we all fall for that one? Yes, he's a player, but that's because he hasn't met me yet. And yes, months are passing and he doesn't treat me anything differently, but that's because he's slow. The bigger question, though, the question that we've asked ourselves, the question that we are asking right now, Bridget, is why the F is she now invested in getting a guy when she set resolutions of not entertaining guys like him, of actually finding someone good for her?
We'll find nice, sensible boyfriend to go out with.
Well, it's because this is what happens when you improve yourself, not because you genuinely want to improve yourself, but simply because you want to get picked. If you get the type of person who you've been constantly rejected by, this time, it feels like you are winning, right? You're finally getting that recognition. But real work would lead you to understanding you don't need that recognition. It's not worth anything. Bridget is getting ready for the office party she's having that evening. It's a launch of a new book, and she is somewhat of a presenter. And she knows there will also be a special boss there, and she needs to impress. With a little help of her friends, the phases are clear. First, she needs to make sure she looks fabulous. It is shaving everything. It is scrubbing. And it is the encounter of the first dilemma. Which panties should she wear? Because there are two types. One type is the type that will make the sexy time even sexier. And the other type is the type that will actually get her to the sexy time. So, if you already manage to make someone interested in you by, pretending hard to get, make them invite you out and then rejecting them. Like, you need to count your blessings. At this point, if there is any indication of Daniel taking it that step, Bridget needs to respond, right? She needs to be prepared if they go to bed. And just, I'm sure you already know this, but if a guy loses interest because you didn't put out on a first date, there is a very, very high probability that that guy has no trust in themselves that they can offer anything beyond the first date. They need to lock it in the first time, because otherwise, things go weird. Step number 2, Bridget needs to own the room. She needs to ooze intelligence. She needs to be mingling, ignoring Daniel, and entertaining everyone else.
Do you know?
Yeah, again, we have Bridget working at a publishing agency, having many friends, which indicates that there is some level of ability in communicating with people, and yet she can't even form 2 sentences without making it awkward.
Where the toilets are.
Silly Bridget. And if things couldn't get any worse, well, looky who is there at the same freaking party. It is the reindeer jumper wearing jerk from her New Year's mother's party, Mark Darcy. Like, what the F is he doing here?
I've been asking myself the same question.
And unlike any normal person who sees someone who insulted you in the past or was rude into you in the past, Bridget actually walks up to Mark. Even if he is rude, give him another chance. There is more there. And yes, you're going to be the one who needs to fight through the darkness, persevere through every pain. But hey, if you're lucky, it's gonna be worth it. Bridget, though, won't have to entertain Mark for longer, because here comes Perpetua, the colleague that bosses her around. And this is a great opportunity to introduce the two of them. But then a glitch. You see, Perpetua says something that makes Bridget pause in her observation of Mark. What do you mean, Perpetua? Mark's reputation precedes him and you're all fangirling around him. Is he successful? He can't be that bad then, right? Hey, no judgment. Everyone falls for the authority and the status and the success bias. But what is good is if you recognize it and then don't base everything about that person on that bias. But not so quick, Bridgie. Even if you forgot for a second that this person treated you badly, like you're a freaking plague, before he even actually got to know you, there is already another woman in the picture, and she better than you.
Natasha.
Unfortunately, though, Mark doesn't extend the same kind of grace when introducing Bridget to Natasha, and he needs to make sure that he, tells everyone that while Bridget is working at a publishing magazine, she's also someone who used to run naked in his yard. Now, maybe Mark is a prick, right? Maybe he just loves putting Bridget down in front of other people. Or maybe he's the type who is not afraid to hurt Bridget's feelings. And you know the type and what true love that can be.
I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings.
A true gentleman. But who's that? Joining the party is the god of all hot gods. It's Daniel. And for a second there, Bridget spots a little weird exchange between Mark and Daniel. There's some tension there. But before she can dig into it, it is time for her to go on the stage. And you guessed it, make a fool of herself yet again. Because oopsie, while Bridget was screaming at the microphone because it wasn't working, she just didn't notice that the mic was actually not on. Silly Bridget yet again. Not to worry though, when a woman is down, when she doesn't feel the best about herself, when she tries to, showcase how slaying she is at her job, there will always be a man who will take advantage of that.
You're looking very sexy, Jones.
Aw, stop it, Danny. Finally, it is time for the next step. Yes, Bridget caught him with short skirts and see-through blouse. Yes, she caught him with, being a little bit stupid. But now she has the opportunity to actually show how smart she is. I mean, she did practice it at home, didn't she? That's actually the only way a woman can keep a conversation with someone else. The problem is that Daniel is not really interested in it. Like, what the F does he care about something in the world?
I couldn't give a fuck, Jones.
Oh my God, it is so refreshing. With him, I don't actually have to be smart. All Daniel wants to know is that every woman's story of the girl and girl action back in college. And if Bridget doesn't have one, not to worry, she can just make stuff up. When there are these moments in life when you kind of look back and then you think, man, I should have seen it, right? Yeah, these are this type of moments, right? If a man or a guy you're going out with, every opportunity he has turns into something physical, something sexual, a sign. And this I learned the hard way. And you did probably, so don't be judging me. One thing leads to another. And that tension between Mark and Daniel that Bridget spotted? Biz, there is a story behind it. Once upon a time, him and Daniel were besties. And Daniel was even his best man at Mark's wedding. But listen to this. Later on, when Daniel had a fiance, what did Mark do? What did Mark do to his best friend? He slept with his fiance and the two of them broke Daniel's heart. Now Bridget is a little bit shocked by the story, but at the same time, she's not surprised. Mark is a douche. And apparently she was so not surprised by this whole situation that she even forgot to ask Daniel about his fiance. You were engaged? Let's talk about that, shall we? Now, after the dinner, the next step is quickly approaching. To do or not to do? You see, Daniel is inviting Bridget upstairs.
Totally innocent, just full sex.
What a jokester. He tells it like it is. Yes, and you should still listen. Bridget, though, feels like she needs to go home. But if you think that that's how it ends, then you will be missing yet another classic. If a woman says no, she says no because, she needs to act like she's a lady and you need to be a little bit more convincing. Because the second Daniel kisses Bridget, then they're, upstairs doing the deed with the wrong type of panties. Imagine that. Bridget is in 7th heaven. I mean, she got the man, and just like that, everything is falling into place. She is even smoking less and losing weight. I mean, that time has its benefits. But as much as everything is peachy, it is time to have that conversation. Hey, Danny, baby boy. No, that sounds weird. What are we gonna do in the office? Daniel is a little bit surprised. What do you mean, woman? What are we gonna do in the office? We work with alive people.
Now, do you think people will notice?
Notice what?
Us.
Well, Bridgie, it's not really a long-term thing, is it now? It's been 2 days since they've been doing this thing.
Slow down, it started on Tuesday nights. Thursday.
Silly Bridget. Take it slow. Go with the flow. There's two things that kind of are happening for me personally in this scene, right? And the first is the whole vibe of Bridget, planning for babies when it's been 2 days because, woman. But the second thing is, if we go into the theory of how this is how she sees herself, and how she is quick to pull back when she doesn't get any answer for Daniel, this could also be a very real thing when women, when they don't get, a commitment from the other person, go into thinking what they are doing wrong. Like they are too fast. It is too much. Don't think about it. Go with the flow. And this is also how Bridget is actually seeing herself, that she is the one who wants too much in too short of a time. And in these cases, it's always like two things, right? One thing is, how fast are you trying to not be single anymore and get that commitment, and you're just waiting on the guy to give you that commitment rather than actually evaluating if you want this to actually be in a relationship and why, versus someone not giving you an answer, but conveniently, constantly leading you on while you're convincing yourself that, oh, we're just going with the flow and not rushing things. Bridget, though, is in bliss. She has her man, or at least her situationship, but you know what they say, when one thing goes well, then something needs to give, okay? And I personally hate that. I am the type of person who 80% of the time I'm stressing in any case. So when those 20% happen where I should actually feel good and happy, I somehow find a way to also not be too happy that time because I'm gonna jinx it. Like this, I don't know who sold us that, and it is not working. I always stress more than I actually enjoy. So when some time of bliss comes, let's lean into it and let's really take it by its balls. That's not the expression, but it felt good.
Darling, if I came in with my knickers on my head, you wouldn't notice.
Her mother decided to leave her father because he is not giving her enough attention. She genuinely feels like she kind of gave her life for everyone else instead of herself.
Like having children isn't all it's cracked up to be.
And also, she met a guy who is a TV presenter and is promising her to be famous.
Julian thinks I've got great potential.
Oh yeah. If a woman feels neglected in marriage, it's not because of her husband, it's because there's someone else in her ear. You just need to get her back under your spell. Mother out the door, that can't even clean after himself. Another classic, but he is miserable. He is sad. He can't believe Bridget's mom just left. He also can't believe that Bridget has a boyfriend.
A real one?
Not a puppet yelling, I'm a real boy.
I have father.
Oh yeah, she actually snagged a real boyfriend, and he should do exactly what she did. He just needs to make her mother jealous. That's how you get them. Again, comedy or not, we can see how no one in Bridget's circle believes she can actually have a relationship. And that does something to a woman. Like, for example, when she doesn't get a straight answer from Daniel about what they are, she'll just look for the sign, and a sign she gets. Because you are not gonna tell Bridget that this is not serious and that Daniel isn't committed when he, wait for it, is taking her on a weekend getaway and will go to another family party with her, where he will, in fact, meet the fam. It is as serious as it can get in Bridget's world. In our world, I hope we know that it means shite unless you actually have a conversation about commitment. Of course, this movie wouldn't be Bridget Jones' Diary if we wouldn't see Bridget having yet another fail just because. And this time, it's her hair. Because her hair gets all messed up when she is driving in rooftop down car to get to this getaway. Where she also Biss, meets, you guessed it, Mark and Natasha. They are staying at the same hotel and the vibes are not vibing.
How interesting.
I mean, kind of vibing. While Mark and Natasha are all like, oh, we are serious and we work and we are not childish. Daniel and Bridget are all about having fun, are all about drinking and jumping in the lake from the boat. They cool like that. And for a second, it looks like Mark be a little jelly. Maybe Mark wants to join Bridget and Daniel in their foolishness. Oh yeah, biz, because plot twist, Mark is actually in love with both of them. No, he isn't. But it would be fun. Seeing Mark, though, is not bothering Bridget or Daniel at all because they have the bestest time, especially in bed when they are doing some crazy stuff. I mean, some stuff that in some countries would be even illegal.
That thing you just did is actually illegal in several countries.
And I genuinely want to know what. What are you doing in bed that would be illegal somewhere else? What is it? Though being close like this with Daniel, and I guess risking her freedom in some countries, makes Bridget want to be a bit more vulnerable.
Do you love me?
Hey, Bridgie, if you're gonna ask me that again, I'll have to do that illegal thing again. Okay then. Do you love me? That's it. I'm coming in. Yes, that's exactly how it happened. Now, again, are we seeing Bridget as someone who is so desperate to not be single, who is so desperate to have that +1 at family gatherings, that she desperately wants to make this work and she's rushing it? Or do we see a woman in a relationship with someone who constantly keeps it vague, doesn't want to have any real conversation, and instead of her clocking that, she rather ignores it? You know. Either way, though, when the morning comes and Bridget wakes up, Daniel is not there in bed cuddling with her. He is not trying to get another charge in a country we don't know if it exists. He is sitting on the chair facing the bed and he is a little bit in his feels, a little bit stressed. He won't be able to join her for the party, aka won't be able to meet her fam, aka is this really a commitment? There's a work thing that popped up and he just needs to go back. Now, Bridget is not stupid. Bridget is like, Danny, if you change your mind, it's okay, but like, it's very hard for me to believe that you need to go very early in the morning on a Sunday because you have work on Monday.
Well, you wouldn't.
If she would have any idea of what it takes to actually look like him, then she would know that he needs his beauty
You're
sleep.
swanning in your short skirt and your sexy see-through blouse.
When she has no idea what is actually happening behind the scenes, the stress Daniel is going through. While Bridget is fantasizing about their love, blah, 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 he's actually struggling with the company shutting down by the Americans.
Thinking of shutting us down, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, there's nothing like a person flipping on you for something you didn't even know was happening, right? Right? But hey, he is under stress working with big paper, so give him some grace. He apologizes for needing to leave, and it's okay. Bridget will go dressed as a sexy bunny alone to this party. And Bridget will also, yet again, make a fool of herself because, surprise, the hookers and priests or vicars theme was actually cancelled. And she is one of the few that is still dressed up. Ha ha, ha ha ha. She just can't get a break from being a dum-dum. Right? It also doesn't help that the second she walks into the party, she is immediately questioned about her boyfriend. Like, where is he? Where is the new man? And when she needs to tell them that he had to leave for work, well, that's exactly what they expected, right? They do run pretty fast. And on top of that, Mark is also there. And honestly, Mark has a little bit of an attitude. Of course, he's going to be like, well, Daniel is not good for Bridget because that's what the type like Mark do, right?
Well, I'm sure he'd say the same about you, given your past behavior.
Check yourself. Now, if you're asking yourself why at no point does Mark ask Bridget every time she kind of looks at him like, oh, I know what you did. What does she mean? Like, what actually happened? Don't worry. Every time in this movie, when a character does or doesn't do something that would very well be expected in real life, it's just because that's how the movie can actually exist. It is safe to say that Bridget is not feeling this party and she just needs to see a familiar face. So she goes to Daniel and he is working. So he tells her to go back home, draw a hot bath, and he'll join her later on for dinner. And then there's a noise.
Is there someone here?
Bridget is like, oh, Biz, no, you didn't. Are you cheating on me? She rushes to the bedroom, but oopsie, false alarm, no one is there. Yet again, silly Bridget.
I'm sorry.
She's just a bit in her head, you know? Which, yes, we know, Bridget, and it makes total sense. You've been trying to get some reassurance from this guy, and it ain't happening. He also left you behind at a party where you thought this is gonna be it, right? Meeting the parents. So naturally, you're gonna think something fishy is going on. And that's the thing when it comes to jealousy, right? And I've talked about it so many times. There are always two layers to it. One is your own insecurity. Maybe you went through some shit, your self-worth, and that's something, you know, each one of us needs to work with, right? But then there's the other layer, and it's about how the person you are with is feeding into it or not. Now, in Bridget's case, when she is about to walk out the door, when she already accepted another embarrassment of thinking that Daniel is cheating on her when he is actually really working, she spots a little pink thing. And yes, I am aware that sounds weird. I'm talking about a cardigan. There's a pink cardigan, which means that there is a woman there. She rushes back up the stairs. And this time, she doesn't just go into the bedroom. This time, she goes to the attached bathroom of the bedroom. Because first time she missed it. And second time, she knows exactly where to go. And there she is in her full nakedness with a big ass encyclopedia covering most of her American self, Lara. And Lara knows about Bridget. From what she remembers, Daniel said she was thin, which, is she really? Is she really? Now again, is Bridget imagining that this is what this person said, meaning Bridget needs to talk to a professional? Or is this something this person really said? Like, I don't know which one is worse. And just like that, from feeling like in seventh heaven, Bridget is back to experiencing hell, the single life. And to make things worse, everywhere she looks, she is reminded of the age and the clock be ticking. Even the National Geographic is sharing the truths about procreation. The male penetrates the female and leaves soon after. But that's not the worst. The worst is the fact that she needs to go to the office where she needs to see Daniel and Lara in their, we're working, but we're actually flirting with each other all the time. Piss, give the woman some break. But no, what does she get? What does she actually get? Well, she finds out that Daniel and Lara are actually engaged. Yes, Biz. The man who can't commit, committed.
Silly Bridget.
Is it shocking? Yes, it is. But also, Bridget needs to be a little bit logical about the whole situation. And Daniel brings her up to speed. This is just one of these things where, him and Bridget are actually very alike. They are both at a certain age and they should be, getting in serious relationships and getting married and yada-da-da-da. And for that to happen, you really need to meet an extraordinary person. And for Daniel, well, Lara is that extraordinary person. I mean, she young and all.
Being so young,
What a peach. Now, I do feel I'm a little bit harsh, when it comes to Daniel and his experience, because, somehow I forget about how difficult it is for a man to, commit to someone, to be in a relationship, to be married. Like, that's something that women want. But men, if you get them to that point, please be grateful that he even reached it, even though if it's with someone else. But you know what? This time, Bridget is not gonna do what she usually does. This time, Bridget is not gonna fall apart and feel sorry for herself. Yes, she's gonna drink a little bit, but that's just to cope with things. But then she is doing it seriously, okay? The second time, she's going to the gym. She is taking it to next level, okay? She is spinning. Side note, I actually really love spinning. It's great. She throws away all the books she was reading about how to get a man, how a man thinks. And this time she is replacing it with books about how to learn what she wants and about how loving a man is being a little loco. Oh, she will stick it up to Daniel. But first she needs to find a job, because she still needs to put food on her table. And a job she gets. Because even though Bridget is totally clueless about the jobs she's applying to, she's applying to work with children, but then, oopsie, she slips that she actually hates children. Clumsy Bridget. At one point, she actually scores a job. Wait for it, as a TV news reporter. And what's the most freaky thing about it all, it wasn't about credentials or about skills or about recommendation letter, not even about what kind of connections she has in the industry. All it took is for Bridget to tell it like it is. She's looking for a new job because she shagged her boss. That's right, ladies. You might have thought that we need to fight with knowledge to be worthy of positions, but in reality, we just need to show that we are a mess and men will want to help us. They are the heroes after all. Like, people will think I hate men. I don't hate men. I genuinely don't. I just hate the messaging. With the new books on the shelves, a new job, it is time for grand finale. And no matter how much Daniel is trying to persuade Bridget to stay at her job, she doesn't need to quit. He is a strategist, a businessman. He's a visionary. He's thinking long term. Once he's married, he will need a mistress. Bridget.
Frankly, I'd rather have a job wiping Saddam Hussein's ass.
Booyah. And yes, of course, the whole office is standing with her because that's what you do, okay? You join the colleague who is sticking it up to the boss because there's so many jobs out there and no one is worried. She did it not only for herself, but for the people. And just like that, Bridget is out of a toxic situationship to the TV to, you guessed it, make a fool of herself yet again. This time exposing her ass on national TV. Can a woman get a break? Huh? She just had a win. She goes to a friend's dinner and, it's not the best because she's the only single one while everyone has a +1.
Why is it there are so many unmarried women in their 30s these days, Bridget?
Also, Mark is there with Natasha. So she decides to leave because she ain't feeling it. But what is that? Who is running after her down the stairs? Mark has some words for Miss Bridget. And Bridget, honestly, she is not having it. You know what? She is done Mark constantly making her feel stupid. He doesn't have to do that. This is her life.
I already feel like an idiot most of the time anyway.
But Bridget is wrong. Mark doesn't want her to feel bad because Mark likes her. Yes, Biz. And he does the most romantic thing we've seen 1,000,000 times and hits us every time the same.
There are elements of the ridiculous about you.
He first tells her everything that's wrong with her and then he asks, but wait, me likey, But don't get it twisted. Bridget went through some things, okay? This time she can spot she can spot the signs. And sure, he likes her, apart from her smoking and her unbearing mother. But shh, Bridgie, Mark is being serious. He likes her.
Just as you are.
But bollocks, Natasha is here to call on Mark. He is needed at the dinner, so he needs to chop leave Bridget behind. And Bridget has, she needs to grasp things. Her whole world has been shaken. Like, what do you mean as I am? Like, does that exist? I don't even know who I am, bis. And this, unfortunately, is where movie falls on its face and all of us with it yet again. Instead of showing us how Bridget, finds her way, her footing. Yeah, she has some ups and downs, but ultimately she gets to the light. They give us a pivot. Hey, you know that guy that was rude to you all this time and had zero emotions? Well, he actually likes you. And that means something. Yes, run. It means run. Bridget, though, she is left confused. And she is not the only one who doesn't really know how to grasp with this whole situation. Like, all of her friends are trying to understand, what do you mean just as you are? And you need to know, at that time, Bruno Mars wasn't popping yet, I think. But this is where the movie really gets it, right? Because not only does Mark like Bridget just as she is, he also helps her, wait for it, finally excel at her job. Bridget gets the impossible task of needing to report on a case and get some interview by waiting at the courtroom when, the people come out so she can then say, hey, how do you feel about the case? But you know how it is, being responsible to do your job and wait until people show up. She can just quickly pop into the kiosk shop to buy some ciggies.
We fucked up utterly.
Oh, God.
And yes, she misses everything. But what's that? Mark is actually the lawyer of the people she was supposed to interview. And not only that, Mark is actually in the same freaking kiosk, so he is there to help her right away.
You like me just the way I am.
Ah yes, when in trouble, look no further than to the man that can save you. And just like that, not only does Bridget go from flopping at her job left and right, she gets to be a legend on the news because she is the only one who got an exclusive interview, all thanks to the man who likes her just as she is. What? Again, you know what they say? When you meet the right one, everything will fall into place. Even your ability to survive. Yep. Bridget is riding on the newfound success, and that makes her feel confident. So confident, in fact, that she decides for her birthday, she is gonna cook dinner for her friends. And you know how it is when you cross a career woman with cooking. You get her covered in sauce and still continuing to cook without wiping anything off. In fact, opening the door when someone is knocking. And surprise, surprise, that being Mark, who sees how messy Bridget is. But not to worry, Mark can help, because, oh yeah, he's also a better cook than Bridget. What else did you expect, you silly woman? And as they're cooking, the vibes are starting to get weird. Listen to this biz. At one point, Bridget is like, oh my God, when I was a kid and I was running around naked in your lawn, how old was I? And Mark is like, you were 4 and I was 8. Oh my God, that's such an age difference.
Quite pervy, really.
Yes, I like to think so.
What do you mean, Mark? What do you mean? At this point, I was watching this movie with the Bible next to me, and I'm not even religious. And I don't have a Bible, that was made up. They make dinner, the friends join them, and they are kind of, cheeky with it. This is the man who likes their Bridget just the way she is. One of them tries to get to know Mark a little bit better, and she asks how come he got divorced. And it was this very moment when I was like, wait the up a minute. Bridget is entertaining and flirting with a guy who she knows broke Daniel's heart and, ran with his fiance, something like bad stuff, just because what? He likes her? And what was even more disturbing, while I was watching the movie, I forgot it also. The movie went into direction that I myself forgot about that part. What I didn't know is that there was a plot twist coming no one ever in this whole movie saw coming. Yes, we did. Out of nowhere, guess who shows up? It is freaking Daniel. And he is a little bit shook that there are people there because he kind of expected Bridget to be alone and in her feels on her birthday, but it's okay, he can take it. He wants to talk to her and he wants to confess. He can't stop thinking about her.
I've been going crazy.
And he knows that he effed up. The thing is that things were going so fast with her, the party, meeting the parents, he just freaked out. But now he knows that she's the only one with who he can do this.
You're the only one who can save me, Bridge. I need you.
Someone didn't tell Daniel that when he is talking shit, he needs to really, read-prove it. Because what do you mean things were going fast with Bridget when you were engaged to another person? It doesn't add up, does it? Though, I guess, Daniel knows Bridget and he knows that she's not going to clock these things, especially when he tells her that she is all that he needs. She is the one that can save him. And she is also the reason why Lara left him. Because she found out he couldn't get over Bridget. Of course she likes what she's hearing. And also, of course, it makes total sense. She knew that all along. It's Daniel the one who didn't clock it yet. But that's the thing. Everyone makes a mistake, and hearing how he's been missing her, it's difficult to resist him. But not to worry. If she can't resist the lure of doom herself, there is a knight waiting to help. Mark needs to leave. And when Bridget tries to kind of say, hey, Mark, no, don't go, the next thing we have is Daniel and Mark fighting. They are going at each other. They are taking it outside. And apparently this is a thing because her friends also are all excited, running outside to watch the fight. And the whole neighborhood also comes out because, we like to see men in their true raw form fighting to get a woman's womb. Bridget is also a witness to this whole situation. And no one is trying to separate the two kids because honestly, they don't really know who to root for. On one hand, they have Daniel who cheated on Bridget and left her for a young American. But then on the other hand, there's Mark who slept with Daniel's fiancée and broke his heart. So, it is not an easy decision. But when Mark blows the final punch and Daniel drops on the ground, Bridget cannot take it anymore.
What is your problem?
He presents himself as all this proper, successful, stoic man, when in reality, he is as bad as the rest of them. Now, at this point, at least at this point, we expect Mark to say, hey, Bridgie, what do you mean? Hey, Bridgie, why do you think I'm the bad guy here? Oh no, I guess he thought that Bridget knew him and he walks away. Something like that. So there you have it. After everything she went through, between the two men, she chooses Daniel. Not, piss. Daniel is lying on the ground and, bleeding, and he's all like, hey, Bridgie, let's do this. If I can't do it with you, I cannot do it with anyone. And Bridget is like, Biz, what? What did you just say to me? Did you say to me that it's not about I'm the perfect specimen and that's why you want to be with me, but it's almost like Look, Biz, you are the easiest thing I can be with. And if I can't make it with you, there is no hope. And you think I'm gonna fall for it?
Let's go back upstairs.
She is ready to give some punches of her own. Danny boy, that just won't do it. You see, for her to make that kind of a commitment, she just needs someone a little bit more extraordinary. Peace out. Yes, Biz, Bridget grew some freaking boundaries and she walks away. Christmas comes around and Bridget is spending some time with her father. She is also, despite everything, at square zero again. Gained weight, eating junk food, and basically not caring how the F the house looks like, her or her father. They're actually watching her mother on the TV when jump scare. Her mother is actually in the room. Biz.
The thing is, close up, he was almost purple.
Her mother is back and she is looking rough. Of course she is. Because what did the silly thing think? Talking about, I want to do something for myself. Biz, don't you know? Didn't you already get it? You don't get to have a better thing. So just be happy with the lesser of the two evil. Yeah, that's the whole vibe, right? The mother comes back because she realized that the other guy is actually very, very bad. And she was wrong to leave her father, even though he clearly doesn't know how to take care of himself unless she is there. She does say that he needs to start paying more attention to her, but at the end of the day, she was a stupid woman to think that, that wasn't good enough. And of course, he accepts her back because he cannot live without her. Didn't you see how the place looks like?
Daft cow.
Also, he'd be hungry and the delivery is expensive. So I guess the whole family is back happily dysfunctional and it is time to go to freaking yet another family party. And according to her mother, Mark is gonna be there also. But what her mother does not know is that Bridget is over Mark or any other man that is not okay up here. Now, her mother is a little bit confused. Like, what do you mean? Like, Mark is in his... Like, this is a time for him that is not the best. Do you even know that his wife was actually cheating on him with his best friend and that's why he got divorced?
Total scoundrel, apparently.
Bridget is flipping. Like, what do you mean? The man who told me he likes me just the way I am is actually also perfect and he was actually the one who got hurt by the other guy? The only thing left to do is for her to speed it up to the party so she can talk to him. And this time, no games, no playing hard to get. This time, Bridget is gonna say it like it is.
I like you.
Despite everything that's wrong with him. And yes, very refreshing, very refreshing. This time we also get a woman saying to a guy that she likes him by counting everything that's wrong with him.
Always say the wrong thing in every situation.
Though Bridget does make a little bit of an improvement. I mean, she's a woman, so she needs to be good. Like, you need to say something nice to a man. And she does, after saying everything that's wrong, also add, but you're a nice guy and I like you. And what more should a girl want? I mean, a nice guy is much better than a rude one, am I right? Those should be the basics. And finally, Bridget and Mark are together. No, they're not because, they need minutes in the movie. They get interrupted by his dad having a toast. And in this toast, Bridget finds out that Mark is actually going to New York. But wait, not alone. Natasha is going with him. And not only that, somehow his father is also toasting and saying that maybe in the future, Natasha is gonna be something more than just partner-in-law. Basically implying that they will get married.
Begged him not to say anything.
So, and Mark is quiet. And we don't know, wait, is Mark engaged to Natasha or is this a plot of Natasha with his dad? And we never get an answer to that. Because Bridget... First of all, she again makes a fool of herself when she tries to stop Mark,
No!
Well, classic Bridget. And just like that, Mark goes to New York and Bridget is left alone back at home. And she is about to go with her friends to Paris because they came and surprised her. They want her to forget about all the shit show with all the men, when out of nowhere, Mark reappears. He was in New York and he flew back because he forgot something. He forgot to kiss her goodbye. And Bez, if he flew from New York to be with her, of course she's gonna say no to go to Paris. She has romance right here. They go upstairs and they are getting ready for, something. But Bridget wants to make sure that this time she has the right panties on. But in the time she is getting ready, Mark sees her diary and somehow magically, it is open at the page when she is actually saying how stupid Mark is. He walks out, and when Bridget notices that Mark is gone, she is trying to yell after him, "Hey, Mark, don't go!" But it's too late. He is just stomping through the snow, determined to leave. Bridget sees that he saw the diary and bollocks. She runs out, but then, oopsie, stupid, she is actually barefoot and in her underwear. So she runs back in, she puts on some sneakers and a cardigan, because that's enough. And then she runs through the street, and everyone is looking at this crazy lady running in her underwear after a man. But it is too late. Mark is gone. Just that he isn't. He comes out the door from the store, and Bridget is quick to explain herself. Diaries are stupid. But not to worry, because Mark knew that. He just went to buy her a new one.
Time to make a new start, perhaps.
Oh my God, how romantic. What do you mean, Mark? What do you mean? She was yelling your name from the window and you couldn't turn around and say, "Hey babe, I'll be right back." And after everything, hopefully this time, finally, they kiss. But Bridget is in for another surprise. I know I'm exhausted also, but it's gonna be short. You see, she never expected guys like Mark to kiss like that.
Nice boys don't kiss like that.
Oh, yes, they fucking do.
Oh my God, so hot. Does not make me vomit at all. And there you have it, Bridget Jones's Diary. A movie where career women are secretly dumb, where predators and perverts are just quirky men, and where the answer to all your problems is a man who doesn't have emotions, but he secretly likes you even though you cray. Or maybe a movie about a woman who thinks is a mess and finally finds a man who doesn't care. And if you are up for some more crazy kids in love, there is many. Just, click on my channel and choose. Have fun.